I'm finding my favorite espresso in the Bay Area. Starting in the San Jose and Peninsula region, this video will cover the first 4 sets in round 1, the shops that roast their own beans. For the first set, the car is a BMW E30. And the location is downtown San Jose. Known as the capital of Silicon Valley, San Jose is home to many tech companies. It's also a center of culture in the South Bay and has a thriving coffee scene. First up today is Nirvana Soul. It's the only shop on my entire bracket that opened during the pandemic. It's owned by 2 black women, and it has one of the best overall vibes of any coffee shop I've been to. It was a super bold choice to open during the pandemic. It has a bold look inside. I'm excited. How does the espresso taste?
Give it a stir. It smells really good. Yeah, kind of fruity. Let's have a sip. Ooh, yum. Has some nice acidity. It's bright, but not too biting. I get a lot of clarity. There's definitely some fruit, like tartness of berries, like raspberries. It tastes fresh, really fresh. It has a good sweetness, good balance. It just feels clean. Like it feels good in my body. We're off to a good start.
A few blocks from Nirvana Soul is Academic Coffee, named for the founder's eagerness to continually learn and explore coffee. Let's taste.
Let's give it a stir. Ooh, smells rich. Ooh, that has a lot of flavor up front. A lot of good flavor. More of a nutty, kind of earthy flavor, and definitely more of a richness to it. I get almost a pine nut flavor. It's good, it's unique. There's a good bright acidity to it, but it's not overpowering. In the aftertaste, there's just a hint. It's not even stale, it's just kind of a little bit more bitter. That is really good out of the gate though. When you first sip it, really tasty. I can already tell this is going to be a difficult bracket.
Next I went to Chromatic, but they were closed due to staff members being potentially exposed to COVID. They did reopen 2 or 3 days later, and to my knowledge everyone is okay. But for now, on to Crema Coffee Roasting. Their shop on the Alameda is gorgeous. It shares an open space with a seafood restaurant and a few other businesses. I'm really hoping both they and the seafood place make it through COVID so I can dine in and get coffee sometime, because it's just so pretty inside. But how's the coffee?
Ooh, wow, it smells deep, like a darker roast. Oh wow, okay. That's super nutty. Definitely feels like a darker roast. Very little acidity. It goes down really smooth. It's so not acidic that it's almost missing something to me. I'm getting a lot of nuts, like that sort of pine nut. There's a flavor in there, almost maybe macadamia. The nuttiness is also sweet. There's kind of a floral quality on top of that nuttiness. It's nice. Okay, let's talk winners. Little unexpected that Chromatic was closed, but between the 3, Nirvana Soul, Academic, both amazing. Really, really good. Crema tasted like a dark roast. I think they do what they do well, but I'm not as big of a fan of the darker roasts. And because it was so crisp and clean and fresh, Nirvana Soul wins it for me.
Set number 2. The car is a 2015 Mustang, and the location is Palo Alto. Famous for startups and tech history, including the original HP garage, it's also home to Stanford University and a vibrant coffee scene. Today I'm checking out 4 Palo Alto roasters. First up, Zombie Runner. It started out as a running shoe store that had a surprisingly good coffee bar in the back. So good that they became known for having some of the best espresso in the South Bay. Now, they've given up shoes, opened a second cafe, and moved their original California Avenue shop across the street so they can focus on coffee. Let's taste.
Ooh, wow, that smells really good. Ooh, oh dang. I'm getting a lot of floral notes, but a solid base underneath that too. It's a strong flavor, but not overwhelming. Very balanced. I wouldn't call it delicate, and I'm liking that. There's some good sweetness in here, but a healthy presence of like the roastiness, some nutty flavors, some floral flavors. It's just really well constructed. It feels fresh too. Kind of reminds me of Nirvana Soul, where it just tastes fresh and clean. Yeah, that's an espresso that you could just drink like this. It doesn't need milk at all. Off to a good start again. I'm enjoying this.
A few blocks away, Backyard Brew has a gorgeous outdoor location that's tucked away behind the bustle of Cal Ave.
It smells really good. It smells nutty, rich, kind of sweet. Ooh, very different. It's got this sort of tanginess right when you first sip it, kind of in the middle of my tongue. It has a good sweetness, it has a good acidity, but not too much. Just like a little hint of freshness. Too much acidity can feel like bright or biting, but this just has like a crispness to it. There's a strong base, like an earthy flavor. If I had to complain about something, it would be that it's missing a little bit in the mid range. There's a strong opening, strong base, a little bit lacking in the mids, but not by much. I'm really nitpicking when I say that. Yeah, some citrus, maybe orange zest. Specifically the peel of an orange. Tangy is the word that comes up, and that's pretty unique in my experience of espresso. That's good.
Heading to downtown Palo Alto, Coupa Cafe is a favorite of Stanford students, entrepreneurs, and venture capitalists in Silicon Valley.
Oh wow, it smells like a dark roast. Really nutty, really roasty. Ooh, yep, that tastes like a dark roast. There's a very present bitterness. It's almost difficult to taste through that bitterness, but it actually is good though. I'm not a huge dark roast person myself, but if I was in the mood for a dark roast, this would be a really good one. But even behind that roasty bitterness, there is a soft kind of floral quality to it, and actually a pretty decent amount of sweetness. I want to say it's like plum, like a deep fruit flavor, but mostly I'm getting that roasty, nutty, classic kind of dark roast flavor. The mouthfeel and texture is really good. It feels like it's coating my tongue really well, which hasn't been the case for some of the darker roast espressos that I've tried. It's not necessarily my thing, but they're doing what they do really well.
Cafe Venetia is another downtown favorite, and if you're not in the mood for coffee, their drinking chocolate is also amazing, and I definitely recommend it.
It smells kind of like that dark roast, nutty, roasty flavor. Ooh, very interesting. It does have that dark roast flavor, but it has the texture of a lighter roast, a little bit more delicate. Oh wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of sweetness. It's like a halfway point between like the dark roasts and the lighter roasts that I've tried. It's really well balanced. Some fruity berry notes. There's a really good texture. Coats my tongue nicely. What is that flavor? I'm getting almost like a melon, like a honeydew, but there's definitely that roasty, nutty base underneath the fruit. It's unique. Okay, let's talk winners. All four of these shots were really good. Zombie Runner and Backyard Brew were more my style, a little bit lighter roast, a little bit more kind of subtle complexity to them. Coupa and Cafe Venetia tasted like darker roasts, a little more of that nutty roasted flavor, which is not generally my style, but both did it really well. The shot from Zombie Runner just made me smile the most. It was the one that made me want to keep drinking. It had a lot of complexity. It had flavor at the top, the middle, and the base. It was delicious. It made me want more. And for that reason, Zombie Runner wins it for me.
Set 3. After negotiating space with the delivery robot, today I'm checking out 4 more Mid-Peninsula roasters. My first stop is Dana Street Roasting Company in downtown Mountain View. Their space feels warm and welcoming. It really made me miss being able to sit in a cafe and read a book or work on a laptop for a while.
It smells pretty good. It smells a little bit darker roasted. That roasted chestnut kind of smell. Yeah, it definitely seems like a dark roast. Fair amount of bitterness up front. Yeah, there's a hint of like almost like a cashew, sort of nutty, earthy, very heavily roasted flavor. It has a decent acidity. It's not super bright right away, but there's this sort of tanginess that creeps in maybe a half a second into the sip. It's pretty unique. It's not quite as overwhelmingly roasty the way that some other dark roasts are, where that's the only thing you can taste. Even though there is a lot of bitterness up front, it fades away pretty quickly. The aftertaste is actually quite pleasant.
Also in Mountain View is Clock Tower Coffee Roasting. They have a large, inviting space that's currently filled with quirky retail products. It also seems like it would be a good place to sit down for an hour or two.
This shot might be just a giant lens flare. Ooh, wow, okay. It smells like that kind of nutty, roasty, super dark roast thing. Ooh, wow, yeah. That is a deep roast. Deep, dark roast. Charcoal, I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way, but it just tastes like something that's been cooked a lot. The texture is super thin. It's almost like drip coffee. If I ordered a drip coffee and you gave this to me, I wouldn't question it. It tastes good. I like a deep, nutty, dark, kind of caramelly flavor in my filter coffees. I do kind of question it as espresso. Just I want like a thicker texture. I want a little bit more depth of flavor. This has intensity of flavor, and the flavor is good. It doesn't like change its flavor over time as you sip. Good if it was a filter coffee. As an espresso, not my thing. I could see other people really liking it though.
Verve is based in Santa Cruz, so not technically the Bay Area, but their Palo Alto shop has quickly become a favorite for the local crowd. It's a gorgeous space, and there's almost always a long line to order.
That smells really good. Oh wow. Dang, that's really good. Yeah, there's a really nice acidity. It's not too bright, but it feels like lively. Lively on my tongue. There's a pretty good sweetness. Not overwhelmingly sweet, it's pretty balanced. There's a little bit of an earthy taste to it, but a little bit of tartness, maybe like a raspberry. Yeah, it does taste pretty fresh. It's hard to place that earthy flavor. It's almost like barley, kind of a sweet barley flavor. It's easy to drink, it goes down smooth. The aftertaste is pleasant. There's a tartness that lingers in a good way.
Another shop that's based outside the Bay Area is Coffee Bar. They're based near Lake Tahoe, but their Menlo Park location is their busiest and it's well integrated into the local scene. It's also a beautiful space, and full disclosure, it's one of my favorite shops. I'm here all the time. I've used their beans at home. I even bought a beanie from them. Let's taste.
Ooh, wow. That smells incredible. Interesting. It has this sort of earthy sweetness, like a caramel, toffee. Definitely a tart acidity. It doesn't overpower though. It's really nice. Reminds me of like a really rich drinking chocolate. There's a lot of depth and complexity there. The texture is pretty rich. Feels like it's coating my tongue in a way that I like. There's a lot going on. It has that tart acidity up top, solid mid-range, almost like grape, that like sweetness, and then the base is that deeper sweetness, the caramel, the molasses maybe. It's bold. It's definitely not a shy flavor. Alright, let's talk winners. For me, it comes down mostly to Verve or Coffee Bar. The other two, Dana Street and Clock Tower, were good at what they did. I just don't love dark roasted espressos. Those two are pretty unique though, so I recommend checking them out if you're exploring or if you like darker roasted espressos. Verve and Coffee Bar were really, really good. It's difficult to choose between them. Verve had a much more delicate flavor to it, a little more earthy, lighter on the tongue, which is really pleasant, but I notice I'm steering toward the more rich, more intense experiences, and in that way Coffee Bar wins it for me. It had the most depth of flavor, it was bold, sweet, tangy, it just had so much going on in the flavor that I could enjoy.
Set 4 had the farthest drive, to the far southeast of San Jose and Moonbeans Coffee. It's so out of the way that I probably wouldn't have even known about it if it didn't show up on some of the best of San Jose lists I found. How does it taste?
Ooh, it smells very rich, warm. It's a very pleasant smell first thing in the morning. I get some almond notes right away. Ooh, that is really nice. Yeah, there's definitely that sweet nut, kind of like an almond. It tastes like a little bit of a darker roast, but not so dark that it covers up the flavors. There's a good amount of depth here. A little bit of floral notes up top, maybe like a jasmine or lavender, but it's not too perfumey, if you know what I mean. Not almond or Blue Moon ice cream. That brings me back to my childhood.
Next, I'm headed back downtown and back to Chromatic. It's one of my regular shops. They were named Metro's Best New Coffee Roaster in 2013 and Thrillist's top coffee company in the entire Bay Area in 2015. Their cafe is in an old warehouse and it's really gorgeous. Also, fun fact, there's an exotic car shop across the street. There were 4 Ferraris parked outside today and there are always cool and expensive cars in the lot. But back to coffee.
Ooh, wow. That smells so good. Oh. Ooh, wow. Oh, that's nice. That's so well balanced. It has a solid acidity up front. Got a lot of sweetness that comes in second. A lot of depth, too. There's really good things going on right at the top, in the middle, and at the base. It's so complex, it's almost difficult to pick out tasting notes. Definitely get a little bit of citrus, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of berry, that tartness, like a blueberry. A little bit of caramel, some darker, more complex flavors too. Dang, that is really good. I can see why they've been Roaster of the Year.
Barefoot Coffee's Campbell location is down the street from a couple great record shops that I go to frequently.
Oh, it smells rich. Nice. Oh, wow. It's so sweet. Yeah, that is like toffee. A very rich sweetness. Dang. Yeah, there's almost like a molassesy gingerbread quality to it as well. It reminds me of cookies. There's a pretty bright acidity up top too. That's nice. Dang, that's really good. Shoot. I can't get over how sweet that is. There isn't a huge base to it. Like, to me, the head of it is the bright acidity, kind of like a citrusy, almost yuzu-like quality. The mids is that sweetness, that toffee, caramel, molasses. There's not as much going on in the base, but gosh, this is really tasty. Wow, okay.
Voyager Craft Coffee started as a coffee cart in 2016 and now has 3 locations in the South Bay.
Ooh, it smells really nice. Caramel. Caramel? Caramel? Ooh, it's pretty bright at the top, and it tastes really fresh. There's a lot of clarity here. Oh, wow. That's so good. There's a tartness, like berries, or raspberry, or blackberry. Gosh, that is so clean. Really nice. There's a healthy amount of sweetness, too. Yeah, the aftertaste actually fades into even more sweetness. The berry-like tartness starts to fade, and you're just left with this really nice sweetness. Almost grape. That's like the level of tartness, like a green grape. Wow, that's very good. Alright, let's talk winners. This is probably the most difficult set that I've had to judge so far. All of these shops were excellent, and I'm definitely going to be back to all of them. I think if I had to split hairs, I'm going to say Chromatic wins it, because it just had the most going on. I noticed that I lean toward that complexity, that depth, that sort of intensity of flavor, but it's not by much. Voyager, super good, so fresh, a lot of sweetness, clarity. Moonbeams was super unique with that almondy sweetness. I've never tasted that in an espresso before. Barefoot, also amazing. There's a lot of sweetness in the espressos today. It's a bummer that I'm picking only one from this group because they're all spectacular.
After 4 sets, the winners are Nirvana Soul, Zombie Runner, Coffee Bar, and Chromatic. Next, I'll be headed to the San Jose and Peninsula shops that don't roast their own beans. Stay tuned for more, and thank you for exploring with me.
Kinda like it. Holy shit, that's loud.